I cried unto Elohim with my voice, even unto Elohim with mine voice. He gave ears unto me. In the day of trouble, I sought Elohim. My soul ran in the night and ceased not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered Elohim and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed. Mine eyes waking. I'm so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of the ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. Spirit made diligent search. Will the Adonijah cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Doth his promise fail forevermore? Elohim forgotten to be gracious? Had his anger shut up his tender mercy? Selah. I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of Elohim. I will remember the works of Ahaya. Surely I will remember thy wonders of old. I will meditate also of all thy works and talk of thy doings. Thy way, O Elohim, is the sanctuary. Who is so great Elohim as our Elohim? Thou art the Elohim that doest wonders. Thou declared thy strength among the people. Thou hast with thine arms redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Yasaph. Selah. The waters saw thee, O Elohim. The waters saw thee. they were afraid. The dead also were troubled. The cloud poured out water. The skies sent out a sound. Then arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the heavens. The lightning lightened the world. The earth trembled and shook. Thy way is in the sea, and thy path in the great water, and thy footsteps are not known. Thou leadest thy people like a flock by thy hand of Moshe and Aaron. Tobe Ahaya, Tobe Ahaya, Tobe Chineke, Tobe Chineke, Tobe Ahaya. Reminding us when the Heavenly Father will transform this earth in a whole new way. That's what we're all looking forward to. For behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Yerushalayim, a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more dance, an infant of day, nor an old man that had not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years of old, but the sinners, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they that build houses and inhabit them, they shall build and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat the fruits of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. For as the days of a tree are as the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hand. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed, of Ahaya, and the offsprings with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together. The lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in any of my holy mountains, saith Ahaya. Tobe Ahaya. Tobe Chineke. Tobe Chineke. Tobe Ahaya. The kingdom will be absolute peace and tranquility, where the children of Israel will be back again as one, righteous Israelites and Gentiles who are all made righteous and holy, serving the Father unto eternity. Thus, the whole life is accelerating to that kingdom. That's why we read that. Tell them, and as you know, that's a whole different economy. Because the topic for today is economy and the fall of Babylon the Great. That's what we're discussing. Shouldn't be a whole long day at all. Just trying to get through a few these precepts. And I want to make it a brief day. The topic is economy and the fall of Babylon the Great. So much question that is being raised about timing, about should we stay in Babylon, knowing what is to come in this very location. And that's usually when people come into the truth, they want to know. Very important. And we've taught this many times, but it's always good to remind us to always give some levity to events happening around the world. Politics, regional forces, economics, social stuff happening. You'll see them. Wars, military, conquest from Europe to Africa, diseases, genocide. And then we'll see abject poverty across America and across the world. And these things are going to get worse as we're nearing the time of the fall of Babylon and the second coming of our Master and our King. So we're going to go into that to get a few understanding, just to highlight a few things. And we'll focus mainly on the economy. Well, it's always complex when you talk about the fall of Babylon. It depends on what part of that you want to focus on. Because so much stuff happening prophetically that will bring this place to its knees. Very comprehensive thing. We've had a complete in-depth teaching on that. And it's consistent everywhere across the Bible. Some people want to deny that America is Babylon. It's undeniable. Maybe they haven't gotten that revelation, but unquestionably, it is Babylon. Not ancient Babylon, but Babylon the Great. And we've proven it time and time again. It's not a new thing anymore. So let's start with Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 33.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 33. And it reads, For thus says Ahaya, Nsoba, the Alahayim Etriala. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her.
What did the Heavenly Father say?
The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her.
Powerful. Now you know the ancient Babylon was ancient Babylon, which is modern day Iraq, part of ancient Mesopotamia. We've studied that. But here he's speaking about her daughter, not ancient Babylon. The daughter is an extension of who she was, the same spirituality that was worshipped in ancient Babylon, the same philosophies, the same agenda to rival the Most High, the same fallen angels and technology, this grand plan that Lucifer, Satan had to create a one world city. Okay. A plan to create a one world city, and he consistently been moving from city to city. Let me make sure that some of our brothers and sisters are hearing us. Our brothers and sisters got a message that they're not hearing us, so I'm going to make sure that they do hear us.
Welcome to any meeting. Line is now unmuted.
Okay, is it better now?
Your line is now muted. Your line is now unmuted.
Is it better now, brothers and sisters?
It says okay.
Okay, good. So we just read Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 33. Let's read that again, please.
Jeremiah 51:33, and it reads, For thus said Ahaya, Nsoba, the host of Itri, Alahayim Itriala, that is Alahayim of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her.
The daughter of Babylon is like a what?
It's like a threshing floor.
A threshing floor. Go ahead.
It is time to thresh her.
The whole Jeremiah chapter 51 shows you the destruction of Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon. And there's a time of our threshing. And that's exactly what's going on globally. That's leading to that time documented in Revelation 18. The time where that ancient plan of Lucifer, ancient city that was planned from antiquity, how he's going to colonize the earth and rule this earth. He has a grand plan from ancient Babylon all the way to the greatest Babylon, which is also called the daughter of Babylon. Babylon the Great is the daughter of Babylon. That will find herself in the most prized strategic real estate in America, controlling religion, philosophy, economic interest, military power, have everything. No one can say nothing to them, a Babylonian system. But it's a time of our threshing. And we are actually, right now, in the time of our threshing. So get ready for events across the world as they intensify economically, socially, politically, financially. So we're going to focus on this economy thing. As you can see, Obama came out recently and made a few announcements glorifying the fact that American economy is doing well. They say the economy, everybody's in this, if you listen to CNN, they tell you that the economy is in recovery. Since 2008, when you experienced recession, that things are actually fine. They looked at GDP numbers at 4.2, unemployment rate 7.2. You know, all the economic indicators that they're looking at to justify that the economy is doing well. But then I tell you what's going on in the real economy. They're still selling the illusion of the Babylonian dream or the American dream that has captivated the whole world, chasing after this illusion and not focusing on the kingdom. But they're not telling you that at 7.2% unemployment rate, that what they have done is change the definition of unemployment. They have redefined unemployment as those people that are receiving unemployment. So if you start receiving unemployment, whether you have found job or don't found job, then you are not even considered or counted in the number. Think about that. The method that they're using to justify or analyze or conclude unemployment rate before 1990s, if you use that method, the unemployment rate there will be at 24 to 30%. And we are feeling it. Our brothers in Ferguson right now, rioting. A lot of them don't have jobs. The police system over there, predominantly white police in a predominantly black city, they all got jobs over there. Same thing in New York. All the top cities. It's difficult for us to find jobs. We know that. Haven't even received good education. This is actually looking for so-called corporate America, middle class America, which is essentially dwindling right now. There's no more. One of the things that they created was a middle class, which acts as a buffer between the super rich and the abject poor that have no say in the system. So the middle class means that you probably went higher education, able to afford a job, two people working, living the American dream. That middle class now is actually dwindling. More people are moving up. That middle class is now beginning to shrink, and that shows you where the overall projection is going. There's no more middle class. That's actually what happened in Europe when Roman Empire collapsed. You see more migration downwards, and then the upper class just shifting more and more. But the truth of the matter is that the children of Israel are not even counted, because we are the poor class. Yeah, you see, every once in a while, I see some of our brothers doing well, but as a nation, we're struggling. So we have over 100 million people currently not unemployed in America. But Obama is telling us that the economy is recovering.
and that they actually revised the 4.2. They revised it 4.2 GDP growth. The next thing is inflation, another indicator that they use to measure the sustainability, long-term sustainability of an economy. You look at unemployment, you look at retail. Well, retail, you look at what's going on with Walmart. Walmart, they're losing, when you look at their real data, they're losing a lot of customers.
Yeah.
They
Target
get
as well.
Target as well, and they're closing down a lot of their locations.
Best Buy didn't do well.
Best Buy, a lot of these name brand and what you call name home that you hear about them at your houses, they're beginning to actually disappear. But they're not telling you the real economy. The real economy is there's a hidden economy that CNN won't talk about. And they prop up the presumed or the assumed economy that they want you to believe. So that we don't see people standing up, and then again, you have the snap card. More people are obviously dependent on the social system, like we prayed this morning, social program, unlike another time in world history. So in terms of inflation, you have 1.5% loss of values. They say that inflation is at 1.5% currently. But that's not true. How much is a loaf of bread costing right now? You go to the gas tank, you'll fill it. The prices of oil is going through the roof every single day. If you live in big cities like Chicago, you know how it feels. Same thing with unemployment is also going on with inflation, where you have they also actually played with the number with the true inflation. They manipulated the calculation method used to actually calculate that. And if you go back to the true numbers back in 1980s and what was being used, you'll be more like 11% to 15% inflation. During the time of the old Soviet Union, many of you that know history remember this. The old Soviet Union, you know, the world was in what you call a bipolar structure. Coming out of the First World War and Second World War, during the First World War, you have a multipolar, war structure where you have multiple powers vying for global dominion, which is a lie, by the way. That's an illusion, because according to the scriptures, there's only one race ruling the earth, leading to Christ's coming, which is we know is Edom. But now they create this polarization or polarity. Like they actually don't have an agenda to rule the world, even though they do have some divisions, like the 10 horns are different factions of the same empire. Spain, France, Great Britain, Ireland, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and so on, they all fought together. They all actually fought together in all these wars, as we know, and created what you call bipolarity, and having everyone moving under them, divided under them, and they're fighting and killing and causing much blood that was funded by the Bilderbergers and the Rothschilds. People dying for unjust wars. So now, you have what happened with the old Soviet economy. So from that first time of the First World War leading to the time of what you call bipolar world between United States of America and Russia, they're contending for who's going to ultimately win out between the influences of philosophy and ideology of communism and the philosophies of capitalism. All this stuff are actually coined by the Illuminati and the Illuminists, because these people are all functioning under one secret society. They're not going to fool us. We know what's going on. And we've had many teachings where we actually go with the names of the people that came on. Karl Marx, Jewish, we know that. That gave you economic theories. These people were actually paid by high-level institutions to bring about philosophies and ideologies that divides up the world under them. And they teach it in school, and they fund these philosophies in schools.
That's right.
Sounds good. So at the time of America fighting with, so-called fighting with Russia, like you see going on today, they're not fighting. They're still exploring together how they're going to control the earth and fly into the exploring space together. What's going on in Ukraine, as we know, is all controlled by them. Putin has no issue with Obama. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. But the Soviet economy collapsed while they were telling people that the economy is good. Everything is going to be fine. Unemployment rate, great. Inflation rate, great. The retail data's great. You're looking at all the economic indicators, everything was great. And everybody was taken by surprise when it tanked. People lost their retirement assets and their life savings. And that's exactly where we are right now. The fall of Babylon will be a surprise. The fall of Babylon the Great, the threshing of the daughter of Babylon will be a shock that if you're not paying attention and not preparing for what is coming, you're going to be taken by surprise. We want to focus on the economic side of that today. So let's look at Romans. What we need to understand is that Babylon, the system, Babylonian system, American Western civilization that controlled by Edom, is actually built on the blood of the children of Israelites. Why is this system going to fall? Why is it inevitable that it's going to fall? Prophecy spoke it. Every empires that have enslaved the children of Israel must fall. Every empire that has marginalized the children of Israel must fall.
That's right. Yeah, man.
And the reason why this system will fall, and it's going to start with economic collapse, that's why we're going to focus a little bit slightly on that, is because of the children of Israel. Our promise is coming. So it's good and bad. For those that are not in the truth, it's bad because you're going to be shocked. Many going to die of starvation and famine, which is the biggest concern right now in the earth. Starvation is the concern of the oligarchs, or rather, institutions like World Health Organization, the world, and the institution that controls the food system. The reason why it's going to fall is because the children of Israel, the kingdom, is coming. And we actually right now, looking at all the indicators, debt ratio that America has can never be repaid. Foreign debt, over $20 trillion. Who's going to pay for that? System was built on fiat money, by printing money and engulfed everybody. I look at the situation with our people in Mexico, where they talked about NAFTA, free trade agreement, signed into bill by President Clinton, that is supposed to create more wealth, but it opened up doors for more marginalization and shifting outsource all the jobs here. So this place does not produce anything anymore. Go to India, China, go to other so-called emerging markets. That's why these data are not true, because American dollar has lost value tremendously. But the sad part is that our people are begging to come in here. The whole world is begging to come in here, not understanding that the game is over. Very soon. The reason why it's going to fall is because there's a people that built it. There's a people that sought and enslaved. The Babylon system, the vampire that has enslaved our people, is finally falling. So let's look at Romans now, chapter 11, and pick it up from verse 7.
Romans chapter 11, verse 7. And it reads, What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for.
There's a promise for us. What are we seeking? If you're anyone in this world today that say they believe in these holy scriptures, there is a people that wrote this book, a nation scattered in diaspora, disobedient children that are suffering for what their ancestors have done, but a sacrifice has been made for them to receive what was promised. And that's what we're seeking. What are we seeking?
What then? Israel had not obtained what he seeketh for,
What are we seeking?
but the election had obtained it.
We are seeking the kingdom, the government, a new system of economy to come, because this system doesn't work for us. It was never intended to work for us. You look in the ghettos, you find out that our people can now flow with this system. The Western system can never function for the children of Israel. It's impossible. There's no political philosophy that can function for, because it's built by Satan. It's built by ideology that exploits. Capitalism is exploitative. But what are we looking for? We are looking for what was promised to us. Go to Acts of the Apostles real quick to look at what we're looking for. What we've been expecting all through world history. What all of us, if you call yourself a Christian, you should be expecting this promise that was promised to the children of Israel to come to us. Acts of the Apostles chapter 1 verse 6.
Acts chapter 1, verse 6. And it reads, When they were therefore come together, they asked him, saying,
This is Yacheya. He's about to be taken up into the heavenly realm. And this is the last question that the brothers and sisters who were in the truth, that knew the agenda that he has been with and walked with, and they know that he is the Son of Man, the Son of Al-Hayam. Listen to the last question that they asked him. What did they ask him?
Master, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of it to Israel?
Would thou at this time that you're going back to the heavenly realms do what?
Restore the kingdom,
Restore what?
the government,
Restore again the what?
the government,
Rulership and dominion to who?
to Israel.
Israel. Letting you know that they knew. But our people today don't know that we are promised rulership, the kingdom to the nation of Israel. A new economic system that functions differently. That was the last question that they asked him. Now that you're going back to heaven, are you going to fulfill that promise according to all the scriptures back to us? But think about it. All our people today don't ask that question. You think about that. How many of your brothers understood that they're Israel? How many of your sisters know that we should be expecting a kingdom that was given to us not based on Christian philosophies, but based on real biblical condition of promise according to the flesh? Not too many of them. So they were asking the question, now that you're going back, would you restore our rulership back? Again, like we had it before at the time of King David. They knew it's from that bloodline, the root of the way. What did he say to them?
And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the season which the Father had put in his own power. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem
Yerushalayim,
and in all
Yehuda, Judea,
and in Samaria,
which is further out, northern kingdom where they were,
and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
because we're going to be scattered on the four corners of the earth. Yahshua knew he's the head of all the prophets, the spirit of the prophet himself. So all that is written has to be fulfilled. you're going to be scattered on the uttermost parts of the earth, and you're going to be a witness to this truth, whether you like it or not. Even your mere existence is a witness to the truth. And you're going to carry the gospel. At some point, who's going to teach the Arabs that listen, when I walk around the earth, I deal with a lot of different nations. I deal with the Arabs, I deal with the people in the Middle East, the Palestinians, I deal with the East Indians, and I see their condition. You see the Chinese, the Caucasians, of course, Edom. Who's going to really tell them the truth of this Bible? And I think when Christ returns, how the whole system will shift and change. Think about the population of the earth. Who's going to really deliver the message that is entrusted to us? Our culture, our language. We are the orators, the oracle to declare this truth. Who will do that? It will be difficult. The true gospel is not out there yet. But our people were expecting, they were expecting the promise. That's what they knew. And that's the gospel. You cannot have the gospel without identifying Israel. So these people knew who they were. That's why they're asking. Today we're asking what they were asking. We are looking for the judgment of Babylon and righteousness to reign. So back to Romans down. Romans, where we left off, Romans chapter 11, and read verse 7 again.
Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for.
Now you know what we're seeking for. We're seeking for the kingdom, our government that operate with a different economy. We haven't obtained it yet. We haven't obtained righteousness yet. True righteousness and purity. We haven't obtained true circumcision as a nation that will lead us into the kingdom, that make us make it into the kingdom. So this is multifaceted. It's not just speaking about just economy. It's also speaking about the transformation that we need, that will guarantees that will make it, which is the spirit as well. Like he told them, you will receive power from on high when the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and you will be what? Witnesses to the truth. The Spirit is a deposit in us that guarantees what is to come, that will make it in the kingdom. But here, we have not obtained what we're looking for. It's complex. It's righteousness makes it to the kingdom. So you're not going to just say, because I'm Israel, I'm going to make it in the kingdom. We must be changed. So there's a lot of stuff that we're looking for. But the elect, there's an elect of our people, they have obtained it. Very few of our people have obtained it. But the rest of our people were what?
Blinded.
Blinded. The level of ignorance in the earth today, come on.
According as it was written.
In the book of Isaiah, it was written. What was it written?
Elohim had given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day.
Until this very day, until the time when Apostle Paul was writing, in the first century, so also today. Come on.
And David said,
what did the King David say?
let their table be made a snare.
Let their table be what?
Be made a snare.
Now, this is profound. We've broken it down many times before. When you understand this book, American Holocaust, a snare is something that traps you. When you understand slavery, why did this have to happen? The massacre of millions, hundreds of millions of people in this whole hemisphere, and millions of Judah, 10 tribes, and southern kingdom, Judah and Israel, Yehuda and Echeriala. Why? We've been ensnared. A table is what you're supposed to eat, just like when we came to America, became the American natives, thinking that we're going to have great empires. And what happened? This happened. The greatest Holocaust known to man. Then Judah fled into Africa, thinking that they're going to be build great empires. Timbuktu, Songwe, Igbo, Yoruba, Old Oyo Empire. And this happens. Let their table be made a what?
A snare.
Let their table where they're supposed to eat become a trap in Africa and the Americas and across the world. Come on.
Let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block.
And a what?
And a stumbling block.
Come on.
And a recompense
A
unto them.
repayment for us breaking the covenant in the Old Testament. A recompense unto them. Come on.
Let their eyes be darkened.
Let their eyes be what?
Be darkened.
That's a curse upon us.
That
What?
they may not see.
Come on.
And bow down their necks, their back always.
What does it mean to bow your back always?
Servitude.
Servitude and slavery. Slavery and colonization, working 9 to 5, working in plantation, picking cottons, living below who you're supposed to be like a prodigal son, serving and feeding pork, touching abomination that you shouldn't be. The children of Israel have been ensnared. The Most High is repairing us because we broke the covenant. We have ourselves to blame. And the enemy is not showing us no mercy. European powers and the elite of the earth under Satan. I'm talking about the elite that are controlling the earth. They know who we are. Let their table be made a snare, a stumbling block, a recompense unto them. Let them bow their back always. You're going to walk to death. Continue.
I say then,
Still speaking.
verse 11, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Have we stumbled as a nation for breaking the covenant that we should never come to our rulership? And what is the answer?
Allahayim forbid.
Most High forbid. Why?
But rather, through their fall,
Through us falling,
salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
what happened to the Gentiles when we fell as a nation? When the 12 tribes of Israel, the North American Indians, American natives, and the Negroes fell as a nation, what happened to the world?
Salvation has come unto the Gentiles,
Why?
for to provoke them to jealousy.
What type of salvation came to the Gentiles?
Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world,
So when we fell, what salvation came to the Gentiles?
the riches of the world,
So American economy was enriched because of our people. That's what it's telling you. The fall of our people meant the riches of the world. And then invariably, the fall of the world is what?
the riches,
The riches
of
of the
Israel.
children of Israel. The table is going to be reversed. A new economic system. That's why this system must fall. There's a people of promise, a people given the kingdom. The system must collapse soon. Because we collapse for them to rise. And for us to rise, they must what?
Fall.
They must fall and collapse. That's what CNN don't want you to know. That's what Obama is now telling you with GDP at 4.2. Unemployment at 7.2. Inflation at 1.5. All these are bogus numbers, far from the truth. When you look at the real poor situation, the real situation of the people, can't feed their children. Look, in fact, the one that have money, they're eating poison from these grocery stores. Absolutely. GMO foods. The meat over there is just like the prodigal son. If you the food that we eating, the poor people that are eating in this world just to survive, you're not gonna believe it. What they put in this food, these corporations actually do all this stuff, and their children don't feed them. Mr. Walmart, his family don't eat on Walmart. They have changed the genome of the food. Like we had that teaching, they are battling us with the seed. My brother prayed about it this morning. The system must fall economically because the children of Israel must rise. Read that verse 12 again.
Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
How much more what?
Their fullness.
When we come to the fullness of our blessings. How much more? So you say you believe in Christ. If you're Caucasian that believe in Christ, you're Arab that believe in Christ, if you're Gentile that believe in Christ, if you're Chinese that believe in Christ, whoever you are that is coming to this knowledge, how much more would you receive if these people come to their own salvation? How much more will the world receive when the Israelites rise up and be who they're supposed to be, Allah, to rule this earth in righteousness? That is the question. How much more the earth will be blessed? Paul called it a new system, life from the dead. Let's read it.
For I speak to you, Gentiles.
Apostle Paul is speaking to who?
I speak to you, Gentiles.
Who are the Gentiles? The Caucasians, Edom, Arabs, Ishmael, Moabites, the Palestinians, the Ammonites, the Jordanians. You're talking about all the Chinese, Japhet, the Mongolians, Japhet, Yafeta, East Indians. You have Babylonians,
Africa.
Chinese, you have the Africans, Egyptians, the Ethiopians that are Northeast Africa. The Negroes in the slave coast of Africa are the Israelites, as we know. All these people, Apostle Paul is speaking to them even under Christ. What is he saying?
For I speak to you, Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office.
Why?
If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
Who are his flesh? The Israelites. It tells that in Romans chapter 9 verse 1. My brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Allah. He wants to provoke us to emulation and jealousy so that we can come back to our salvation. Come on.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world,
We were rejected as a nation, and the earth was what?
reconciled.
Reconciled, and that's what the global system that you're enjoying, the global economic system that you are enjoying, was based on the exploitation of the Israelites. The Wall Street, the Wall Market, the stock market, all was built. The whole system of Babylon was built on our people, and we continue in this situation. Oh, how we wish that our people can wake up. We gotta do so much according to the scripture to raise up those that can speak this truth powerfully. Amazing. If by any means I will provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, I might save some of them. Salvation can save some of our people. A lot of them are going to die. Why? For if the what?
For if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world, what shall the receiving of them be?
But what?
But life from the dead.
But what?
But life from the dead.
That's what is coming. Life from the dead. The nation of Israel is dead, man, walking. We are dead people walking. We don't even understand our position in this earth. The gospel is to reach them not as modern day so-called pagan Christian, but as true Israelites that are coming in new enlightenment into the knowledge of salvation.
That's right.
That Christ talked about. Knowing who you are, what it means, and attaining that spiritual transformation or reformation, circumcision of the heart by the Spirit, for the Jews and then to the Gentiles. Say live stream is going down. Someone says, if you're listening on live stream, please let us know if you can hear us. People say that we have a message here, say that it keeps going up and down and out, down and out. Please let us know if there any problem, if it's something just one person is experiencing. If that's just one person, do try to refresh, okay? Or maybe reboot your computer. Because we're having a smooth broadcast over here. In fact, there hasn't been any interruption. So life from the dead is what will happen in this new system that is coming, but it requires the Israelites to rise up, and that's what's forcing the whole economic tides. The people that blocked this system, that worked for this system, needs to rise up. So the financial implication of Israelites rising up will bring this place to its knees. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1. For Ahijah will have mercy on Jacob.
So at some point, the Heavenly Father will have mercy on the people that is scattered and put out, the North American Indians, the Negroes, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, Judah, Levi, Benjamin, scattered. He's going to have mercy on us. How?
And will yet choose Israel.
Letting you know that we're not chosen right now. We are rejected. That's why our Savior came to sacrifice, so that we can be adopted back as sons. He will yet again choose us. Come on.
And set them in their own land.
And put us in our own land. So now, part of the reason why Babylon going to fall is for us to what? Come back to our land. Is for us to come back again in our land. So America is propping up the Zionist regime in Jerusalem. So at some point, that will cease to exist.
That's right.
That means the way they displaced us everywhere in the earth, they went around and displaced the Israelites everywhere we are. We are coming back to displace all of them in power and authority. We're taking over everything. And that's why the defense grade with NASA, with the Pentagon, with the Secret Service and the FBI, they understand the agenda. They're keeping their eyes on us. They know that Israel waking up is not just an economic shift, it's a global dynamic shift.
That's right.
That would disarm Western powers. It would disarm the colonialists and the imperialists and the capitalists. They know that. That's why every fashion of the society is designed to keep us down. Because there's a people called Israel. A people that will rule the land in righteousness.
Just by their name.
Just by their name. Whenever they say that name, they know what it means. One day these Negroes are going to rise back up again, and they're going to smash this earth in righteousness and establish the greatest rulership. They know that. They understand that. But we don't. That is the problem. We don't. This is this battle of good and evil, where righteousness will ultimately win in the final analysis. That's why we want all righteous people, both Jews and Gentiles, to support the Israelites in this spiritual battle. Especially our people, to woo them into this reality. Moses will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and bring us back into our land. And what will happen?
And strangers
The Gentiles now that believe in Yahweh shall what?
shall be joined with them,
Go ahead.
and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them.
We're gonna what?
Shall possess them.
The strangers, as always, we've been always been the rulers. That's our position from the beginning. But we've always had the Gentiles that are amongst us, but we're gonna possess them in righteousness. How?
And shall possess them in the land of Ahijah, for servants and maid and handmaids.
We're gonna possess this earth, and they're gonna serve us. We've been serving them, they're gonna serve us in righteousness. That's scriptural. Letting you know that the table is reversing. A new government and structure, a new process, means that the system of contemporary economic dynamics will be shifting. And that's what we're seeing, the tides already happening. It's inevitable. They see the fingerprints on the wall. Now you can understand why they have to give you bogus numbers, so they can give you the false illusion that everything is fine. And you can be sleeping, not paying attention, that is the people that must rise up, that you may be one of them. And you think the economy is fine, everything is great, especially now you have the election in November coming. They need that number to look good. So people can come out and vote and be mobilized. Amazing. Continue.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
We're going to rule over the same people that have always oppressed us. Who has been our oppressors? Edom. The leaders. Rome. Edom is Rome. The oligarchs controlling the earth. We're going to rule over all the Gentile governments that got together to conquer and put us in our condition today, because we were disobedient. We will rule, and that's why they have to prop up this economy. Come on.
Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day.
What day? The second coming of Yahweh. What will happen?
That Ahijah shall give thee rest.
He's going to give the Israelites rest. From what?
From thy sorrow.
Our sorrow.
And from thy fear.
Our fear.
And from thy hard bondage.
Bondage.
Wherein thou was made to serve.
Hard what?
Bondage.
Bondage. That's why we're praying this morning, brothers and sisters. We are in hard bondage. The sisters, our sisters don't even understand. They don't want to even collaborate with the brothers to do this work. I just want to wear tight pants, tight clothes, don't want to pay attention to nothing or elevate their thinking. The brothers out there chasing skirts. Some claim to be in the truth. They're really not in the truth. Where is the work? We've been going through hard bondage. You try to tell your family, listen, you want to understand your condition? You have to go into the Bible. And then look at politics and global events. You understand it. They say, no, they're under the illusion. The economic illusion makes you feel things are good. Buying a house, you think, I got my nice little house, I got my nice little, ride with the bling coming on. The sister say, I'm able to shop, get my fingernails done, and I feel good. You don't feel the bondage no more. You don't think about the bondage no more. We are looking for prosperity just to live good here, but this is not our rest. Remember what the disciples asked Yahweh when he was being taken? They were asking him about the kingdom. Our rulership is our focus. But an economy like this is designed to make you feel like you're not in bondage. Or rather, that the children of Israelites are actually fine. So that these economic indicators make it look good so that no one is going to question. Everything is fine. Well, they got a black person as a president. So Negroes are fine, right? The Puerto Ricans are fine. The minorities are fine, right? Far from the truth. The Bible said that we are in what? Hard bondage. Man! When you look at our history to where we are right now, it's unthinkable. Hard bondage, come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that Ahijah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
So a point in time we're going to receive rest from our suffering, where we've been ensnared and actually put down. A time is coming, come on,
And from thy fear,
when we're going to fear no more,
and from thy hard bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve.
because we built this system. We served every nation in the earth. We served the Babylonians. We served the Egyptians. These are all Gentiles, the true Africans. We served the Persians. We served the Grecians, the Caucasians. Rome, we served ancient Romans. We serve, now we're serving Chinese. Can you imagine that we even serving the Chinese people too now?
Wow.
They're in Africa taking all the resources and actually building the imperialistic colonization of Africa, the new colonialism of Africa in a new way. The corporation, the manufacturing, the production systems, and the financial funding of land from Zimbabwe to Ivory Coast to Nigeria and different places is now being taken over. China is literally still in Africa in front of the whole world. Chinese merchandise, Chinese equipment. And you have a high population. They already begin to migrate their people even into Africa. They want to claim the land, and that makes you question what's going on with Ebola, where Ebola could be what another genocide that can potentially wipe our people out, and the demography of the slave coast of Africa can change. It's interesting that it's happening in the slave coast of Africa.
Yeah.
Continue.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
The king of what?
Of Babylon.
So there's a king that controls Babylon the Great. The king spirit that my brother was praying against. The fallen angels that has built this system. The king of Babylon, come on.
And say, how had the oppressor seized?
How has the oppressor seized? Who is the oppressor? Read it.
The golden city.
Oh, the oppressor is who?
The golden city.
The golden city, America.
Seized.
Because the king of Babylon built a golden city, and we found that we actually walked and suffered in hard bondage to build the greatest civilization. At some point, it will what?
Seize.
At some point, the system will cease. And that's what you saw, the economic indicators. The real economy is collapsing. Everyone, all the analysts are telling you that. Because this golden city must cease.
That's right.
Read it.
Ahijah had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers.
The scepter
of the rulers.
Of rulers. These are ruling spirits. Because the scepter, Bible said, the scepter shall not depart from Yehuda.
Yoda, or a lawgiver.
But it's somebody controlling the earth right now. Think about that. So you have two people ruling. Yahshua is actually have rulership. We want to rule this earth. Rule the universe in heaven. But right now, the earth, Satan
It's in the hand of the wicked.
is in the hand of the wicked.
That's right.
And it has rulership controlling the economic terrain. the Bilderbergers. You know them. The Rothschild, the Rockefellers. The hierarchy of Amalek, Omeleka. All these powers controlling this earth, Christ is coming to smash them and take rulership back to us. That's what the economy will collapse. There's a shift in tide that is coming. Come on.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth.
They prosecute and none what?
Hindereth.
No one can stop them. They are right now in Zion, the land of Zion, land of Jerusalem. Zion is taking over the land over there that belongs to us. Fighting against the Palestinians, the Hamas, right now as we're speaking. They dropped bomb in Nagasaki, Hiroshima, killed many people. No one can stop them. They're using the economy, the fiat money, funneling what happened to Iraq. They're back in Iraq right now. And again, they just sent troops in Iraq, right?
Yep.
Quite recently, to establish what they already built. Since there's a storm, and Saddam Hussein. They are trying to get into Iran, which we know is going to be the last stop. Because Iran is not a joke. They have been taking down nations. They took down Gaddafi in North Africa. They went down into Sudan, Mali, infiltrating every government. You can do nothing.
Egypt.
They went into Egypt, Mubarak, behind the so-called Arab Spring. They can do anything, and none can hinder them. But you don't understand what's really going on until when you know the scriptures, who these people are. They dropped bomb. World War I, World War II, funded it. Massive debt, bloodshed. Who's responsible? There's a city that's built on blood that must fall. This city is Great America, United States, where Satan functions from and influences the world. Go to Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. That city is falling, and it starts economically.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And it reads, After these things I saw another angel come down from heaven.
Another angel now, as the Most High says, is going to smash and bring the scepter down and take it, snatch it from them. Another angel is coming after much prophecy in the end time. Now this prophecy is happening in end time, Revelation 18, towards the grand conclusion. What is he saying?
After these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon,
Babylon
the great is fallen,
is fallen,
is fallen,
is fallen,
and is become
is fallen,
habitation
is fallen,
of devils,
is fallen,
and the whole
is fallen,
of every
is
foul
fallen,
spirit,
a cage,
and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
This place is a place of sin, that golden city that was built by fallen angels and Lucifer, that was built on the blood of the children of Israel. They can care less. They have put a new philosophy that put all of us to work. If you get a job, you're working for it. If you go to school, you're being educated by them. If you open your television, you're listening to their ideologies and their movies. If you look at Hollywood and fashion industry, they're dressing you and your children. It's a rebellious system against anything that is righteous, against anything that is good, against the holy people that disobeyed the commandments in the scriptures, and they were given power to rule over us. They're not better than us. Babylon system is finally fallen, and fallen economically is falling, politically is falling, socially, spiritually is already collapsed. It's going to tank.
That's right.
And it's a cage where people are caged up because it's fun and exciting to be here. Babylon the Great is fallen. Come on.
For all nations,
All what?
all nations
Races. All races in the earth have what?
have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
The wine of her wrath is the deception, the philosophy and the ideology that is taught in your schools today to our children, that you receive in these churches, that you're being socialized into the system. All nations have drunken of the wine of her wrath. Come on.
And the kings of the earth,
And all your government, we just recently have a meeting of the European. I was looking at the Al Jazeera channel, and they have a meeting of all the globalists, from presidents and prime minister of top nations, Germany, France, Britain. Obama was over there, all of them conniving together, I mean taking pictures, planning on how to do their bidding under United Nations. It was a meeting of the United Nations and NATO nations and all the member nations. All of them are actually in cahoots with her. Letting you know that there are two types of people. You have the Israelites suffering, and you have the Gentiles that are enjoying our fall. And now we're expecting our kingdom. But they're not expecting our kingdom. Hence, they quickly also infiltrated modern Christianity. All nations have what?
all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Go ahead.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Including your popes and all your presidents that are down with capitalism and global systems. Come on.
And the merchants,
Or the businessmen, the capitalists, the corporations that are feeding us poison and sarin gas, giving you GMOs. All these corporations are making money. They make merchandise of the whole world. The kings of the earth, the merchants of the earth have what?
are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
They have been paid and making money through the classic food, classics, everything that they produce out of this place. Hats, t-shirts, movies, pornography industry, NBA, NFL, everything is for sale. It's commercialism. Come on.
4. And I heard another voice from heaven
A
saying,
new voice now speaking. What is he saying?
Come out of her, my people.
The children of Israel that are sold in those regions now, at some point you have to start coming, because you fell for them to be enriched. Now you about to be enriched. They're about to fall. Come out from their lifestyle. Come out from their mentality and come out physically. Why?
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Because if you hear, you will sin. You making, especially when you start making money in Babylon. You get a little spare change. You can have so much fun in Babylon. That's why I say it's a cage. A cage, a hold. A place where you can have fun and you don't want to leave. Where unclean spirits make political decisions. Unclean spirit is in your cabinet. Unclean spirits in functioning within people. To make political decisions. To make policies. Like homosexuality. Like stem cell research. Like anyway, this system, as you know, is exploitative on every front. Even on the Gentiles themselves. They are oppressing their own people too. That's why this is not just for the Jews, it's for Gentiles as well. If you hear, you partake in her sins, and what will happen?
That ye receive not of her plagues.
So what are the plagues that are coming? Read it.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Allahayim have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
According to her works,
According to her works.
according to her works, double is coming upon the Babylonian system. Come on.
In the cup which she had filled, fill to her double.
Go ahead.
How much she had glorified herself.
Stop right there. Read verse 4 again, the last paragraph, the last phrase over there. That she received none of her plague.
That ye received not of her plagues.
Rod, jump down to verse 8 and read the plagues.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
What are the plagues?
Death and mourning.
Mourning and death is coming in one day. Come on.
And famine.
And what?
And famine.
And what?
And famine.
So how can the economy be good? This is what's coming. Famine, starvation. This is serious for preparation. Death, mourning, and famine. Things will get difficult soon. The economy is already collapsed. It's going to become even increasingly evident in how you live every day. Because eventually, you're going to have to pack up and leave. That's how difficult it will be. Because you're not going to be able to afford your lifestyle. They've given you an illusion of wealth that was built on the blood of the children of Israel. Like I said, with NAFTA, they're actually sucking in Mexico. Coming in to take jobs. They run out of Mexico to come here. The immigration thing is about people coming here to see that illusion that was promised by the devil. The whole world from coast to coast wants to be here in this cage.
That's right.
Therefore shall her plague come up her in one day. What are the plagues?
Death and mourning.
And mourning
And famine.
and famine. That's economic collapse right there. But it's falling progressively, leading to that time when it's going to hit. That's what we're monitoring. The economic indicators, we are monitoring it. Looking at the real GDP, looking at inflation, looking at, what you call it, retail data. All the economic indicators will show you exactly what's happening here. We're not listening to what the government is saying, but look at the real data. Come on.
And she shall be utterly destroyed.
She shall be what?
And she shall be utterly destroyed.
Utterly burnt with fire. Right?
That's right.
So after economy is going to be total chaos. But why is this happening? Why is the plagues and famine coming here? Read verse 7. That's why.
Verse 7. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously.
And lived what?
Deliciously.
Deliciously. This is profound because we know the system was built by our people. When you look at countries around the world where the Israelites are scattered, look at Jamaica. The people over there in Kingston, their condition. Haiti, since all through their history. And now you have the big earthquake that happened over there. Go to slave coast of Africa. Since the time from 586 BC to 70 AD, leading to the 1500s and 1400s, when slavery came out and exploded, and they brought our brothers here in America, the Igbos, the Ashantis, the Mandingos, the Yoruba, they went to the West Indies, the Akan people, Old Oyo Empire, the Benjamites. When you look at all these things, we've been suffering in bondage, economically, in disarray. But they live what?
Deliciously.
They've been living what?
Deliciously.
Built on fiat money. Where they can print money, they have the exchange rate or the exchange money, which is the dollar standard. The dollar is the trading value, the exchange currency rather. So they have tremendous economic advantage. Did you see how the Most High is perfect? They can do anything they want. They can say, well, we don't want to use the dollar no more. We want to come up with a new currency, which is going to be the chip very soon. You have to be actually in the system and counted as definitely working for Satan to be able to survive. It's going to happen soon. They can do anything and no one can hinder them. The Babylonian system must fall.
Yeah, man.
Because they have lived deliciously. While people have no clue what's going on. She enjoyed expansion, Western expansion. They've enjoyed the fatness of the earth. That's what the Bible says.
That's right.
Let's go there in Genesis. Esau is going to enjoy the blessing of Esau. And the blessing of Esau is that they're going to enjoy the fatness of the earth. Genesis chapter 27. Let's read verse 38.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And it reads, and Esau said unto his father.
Esau is the father of the Caucasians, the European oligarchs controlling the earth today under Satan. Not all Caucasians are functioning with them as we know, but we're speaking about their hierarchy and their elite that control the earth today, like the Jewish Zionists and the Bilderbergers and the power structure. This is their blessing as a nation, the Edomite. Come on.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, oh my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him,
Ichekakwa, what did he say?
behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
What is the blessing of Esau?
Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
They're going to be enjoying the fatness. They got the fatness of the earth. Every best real estate. It's easy for them to navigate through. Think about the Roman conquest. Rome, how they conquered the earth. Isn't the scriptures accurate? The fatness, meaning that any real estate, any benefit, any economic advantage, they get to enjoy. And none can stop them.
That's right.
That is their blessing. Because we fell as a people. And that by default, power shifted. Salvation came unto the Gentiles. And who are the leaders of the Gentiles?
Amalek.
Edom and Omeleka. Omeleka is an Edomite, which is Amalek. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So that's what they're enjoying right now. So the problem is that it's coming to an end. And it's coming to an end with the greatest bang, and they're not ready to give up. Because Satan has a bidding with them. Satan wants Edom to be in power because Edom despises the laws, is disobedient to the laws. That's why they teach homosexuality. They teach total freedom. There's no law for them. Anything goes. Anything goes. As long as it's sensible and rational, they're down with it. Mm-hmm. That's how the elite think. They are absolutely not under Christ. So they're enjoying. Consider how they conquered the whole earth. They ruled by their sword. That blessing shall be the fatness of the earth. Come on.
and of the dew of heaven above.
Go ahead.
And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And
So,
it
stop right there. So they conquered through sword, global conquest, and that's why we went through the Holocaust, the greatest Holocaust. And now the worst Holocaust that we're going to now is economic Holocaust and mental, spiritual Holocaust. That we need that life to be breathed back into us again.
Amen.
That we can rise up from the dead. So back to where we're reading, Revelation 18, right? Verse 7.
Revelation 18 verse 7. And it reads, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
I have geographic advantage. Nothing will ever happen to me. We got the best military. We can fund it. No one can take us down. We'll send you drones. We can build anything we want. That's why they're the great builders. Nothing will happen to us. We can devise plan and strategy on how to win our wars. We can even take the top because they want this life to extend. But you cannot. There's a time stipulation where this place will fall, and it starts with economy. In ancient Rome, when Rome was fallen, this is still Roman Empire phase 2. Ancient Rome, they begin to cut cheap the gold coins. Just like they're doing today, how they devalue the economy. You get a coin, instead of actually having a full coin, you begin to clip it. And that will serve as the real gold. So essentially, you're creating inflation. You're creating more money into the system, but it's a fake money. There's nothing there. It was built that way. Essentially, something is happening today. And that brought Rome economically down. Something is happening today again. They can print money, do anything, and live deliciously at the expense of the children of Israel. So a people rising, a people of promise that must receive this kingdom, that's a spiritual activity going on that will compel this place to fall. So let's go to Jeremiah to add to the reason why she must fall. Jeremiah chapter 50, read verse 6 to 8.
Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 6. And it reads, you say 50, right?
Yeah, 50 verse 10 to 8, 10 to 11. Rather, verse 6 to 8 first. Jeremiah chapter 50, 6 to 8.
And it reads, my people have been lost sheep.
Why is this place going to fall?
My people have been lost sheep.
The children of Israel are scattered, have built this place. That's why he's telling us to come out, because the system is falling. But these are lost sheep of the house of Israel that are promised rulership. The table will shift. My people have been what?
Lost sheep.
Lost sheep. Come on.
The shepherds have caused them to go astray.
All our leaders are now telling us what I'm teaching today. This is what they should be teaching our people everywhere in the world.
That's right.
If you're leading Israel, you must tell them that you're lost. You must come back, because salvation is of the Jews first, then to the Gentiles. We are the lost sheep, that the earth is waiting to wake up, and that will be the greatest revolution to bring this economy down. That's what's happening spiritually. My people have been what?
My people have been lost sheep.
Go ahead.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Go ahead.
All that found them have devoured them.
All that found the lost sheep of Israel in slave coast of Africa have what?
Have devoured them.
Exploitation. Look at our people in the ghettos in America. We're not being fed the truth. We're not being given real knowledge of salvation. And now that positions you to be exploited, and you participate in the exploitation of each other. Come on.
And their adversaries said, we offend not.
We don't sin. We have not doing anything bad. Why?
Because they have sinned against Ahijah.
Letting you know that they know who we are. They know our history. They read this Bible every day and know we don't offend. They're the Israelites because they're in their condition because they sin. So this is our time to rule. But the Most High said the table is reversed. It's actually being reversed now. That's why the economy must tank soon. We've been exploited. What can be greater than slavery in exploitation? What can be greater than the true Holocaust? How they stole this land. These are real stories. We can, no matter how long we speak about it, we're going to continue to speak about it. Because that's what the Bible is speaking about page to page. What verse?
We're still reading verse 7.
Go ahead.
All that found them have devoured them.
All have found us in Africa have what?
Devoured them.
When they found us in America, what?
Devoured them.
Everywhere we've been devoured as a nation. That's why it must tank. And we don't know. We just know we're suffering, but we don't understand why. And the global and the larger picture and implication. They devoured us through modern day religion. They re-educated us to think differently from this truth and support the enemy mentally. Look at our young men being raised today, young sisters being raised today. They are so ill-equipped to even survive this wicked life. All has found us have devoured them. Come on.
And their adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Ahijah. They have sinned against Ahijah, the habitation of justice, even Adonijah, the hope of their fathers.
The hope of our what?
Their fathers.
Because he promised our fathers rulership, right? Let's go there in Luke. That he promised our fathers rulership. And our fathers that lived righteously hoped in him. Our ancestors. Luke tells you that. Luke chapter 1. Verse 68.
Luke chapter 1 verse 68.
Yes, please.
And it reads, blessed be Adonijah Elohim of Israel,
The power of Israel.
for he had visited and redeemed his people.
He has visited and what?
Redeemed his people.
The children of Israel when Christ died or was born. He has visited us when Christ was sent to redeem us. Come on.
And had raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
David. That's where Yahshua was born, a Negro. Christ, the one they call Jesus Christ, is a Negro, is an Igbo man. Our brother and our king, our master. He raised him from the house of David, the tribe of Yehuda. Come on.
as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
That's why the system must fall. The nation of Israel should be what?
Saved from our enemies.
Come on.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
See, now salvation is of the Jews. Now you see how they connect? To save us from the powers controlling this earth and the nation that hate us. Why?
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
Remember that? The powers of our fathers, and there's a mercy that needs to be performed with our ancestors that signed an agreement with him. What is this agreement? Go to Jeremiah to find out the mercy where he says, remember the one in Jeremiah?
Where he says,
Jeremiah chapter 33. What is the mercy? What is the promise to our forefathers? Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 25. This is the mercy, the promise to our forefathers. Verse 25 tells you that in Jeremiah chapter 33. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 25. This thing is so slow. I think it's another.
Can you read this here?
Alright. Verse 25 says, Thus says Adoniah, Ahaya, if my covenant be not with the day,
If I have not set up the divine agreement that causes day, come on,
and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth,
the laws that maintains the life as we know it, the laws of heaven, because in the beginning, the covenant was cut between heaven and earth, where heaven was split from the earth. That was the law of divine orchestration, including thermodynamics, that you hear about in physics, the law of gravity, the law that maintains everything the way they are, that they can never shake. If those laws cease to exist, what will happen?
then will I cast away the seed of Jacob
That's when he's going to reject the chosen people, the children of Israel. Come on.
and Dewede, my servant,
And David, his servant.
so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers.
We're going to be what?
To be rulers.
To be what?
To be rulers.
Salvation that Israelites are expecting, like we read in Acts of the Apostles and
Chapter
Romans,
1.
and Romans chapter 7. What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for. This is what it's all about. Rulership. Israel must rule. I got you. We must rule Allah. I got you. I got you, Allah. If you can change the law that created life, that's when we're not going to rule this earth. That's how powerful it is. But who are we going to be ruling over?
To be rulers over the seed of Abraham.
Abraham has Gentiles like who? Arabs. Ishmael. Come on.
Is Isaac.
Isaac has a brother, two sons, Esau and Jacob. Jacob is the father of the Caucasians. We're going to rule over both of them, which are the Gentile nations.
And Jacob.
And Jacob. Come on.
For I will cause their captivity to return
I'm going to reverse their slavery,
and have mercy on them.
and that's why the economy must fall. Our rulership is directly tied into the fall of this system.
Mama puri Zion ya bako teba biko. Oli hani gwe bako tebiko.
So, as you can see, it's tied into that. Amazing. So when you go back to where we were in Jeremiah, right? Where were we? Chapter 50, right? Where he said that the hope of our forefathers, chapter 50.
We were reading Luke though, but
Yeah, sorry. We went to look already. With that, that's a precept to Jeremiah. So now we're going back to Jeremiah, chapter 50 now.
yep.
Where he talks about all our ancestors have hoped on the Heavenly Father. So again, the spiritual activity is to raise us again. and that means the fall of system that we live, that we're existing in. Come on.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 7. All that found them have devoured them, and the adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Adonijah, the habitation of justice, even Ahiah, the hope of their fathers.
Come on.
Remove out of the midst of Babylon.
What did he say?
Remove out of the midst of Babylon.
At some point, you have to what?
Remove.
Physically get out of the system that exploited us, because our salvation has come nigh. That's why it's going to collapse. Remove out of the midst of Babylon.
And go forth out of the land of Chaldeans.
The land of the sorcerers. It was built by sorcerers and sorcery, all the founding fathers. And the oligarchs, they are all Illuminist Satanists. We know that. We're going to remove and go forth where?
Out of the land of the Chaldeans.
Go ahead.
And be as the he-goats before the flock. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, for thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of the mighty expert man.
And that's why you saw in Revelation chapter 18 where he says it's going to be fire, because that's going to be as a result of war. When this economy, this place will be disarmed, totally disarmed, and that's going to ultimately lead to war, and she will be surrounded and lit up. Jump down to verse 10. Read verse 10 to 11. That's where you are, right?
And her arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain.
That's missiles, come on.
And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said Ahiah, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage.
Why is he going to fall? Oh, ye what?
Oh, ye destroyers of my heritage.
This is powerful because you're speaking about the cultural colonization of our people. We've been colonized. The level of destruction that has immersed on the nation of Israel cannot be compared to anything. Our history destroyed, Jerusalem destroyed, our children of Israel totally re-educated, and we're still in our condition, starting from the Babylonian captivity to the current system, how the system functions, and we've been serving the nations for a while. The heritage of the Most High are his people. That's what he says in Deuteronomy 32.
That's right.
Jacob is his portion.
That's right. The lot of his inheritance.
The lot of his what?
Inheritance.
His inheritance. We are his heritage. He has allowed them to do anything to us because we are the prodigal sons and daughters. But now he's showing mercy on us. They must fall. That's why the indicators are happening. Come on.
Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and billow as bulls.
See that? This place is so fat because Esau was given the blessings of what?
The fatness of the earth.
Fatness of the earth. And now they are so conceited. You could tell a European power people like in Hollywood enjoying this classy, exquisite lifestyle. If you tell them the real truth, you think they're going to believe you. If you tell the people in corporate America, the elite and the oligarchs, you really think they care about this stuff?
Nope.
No. They are too fat. Especially now, America is being fattened, the fattest nation now. Fed with GMO, not even with the real seed. Obese nation, and also obese mentally. People want to hang out with their remote control, will not come out of their houses, drive everywhere, will not exercise, far from reality of real situation of life. There's no interaction. People can't even talk to each other because everything is so divided and individualistic. There's no real relationships. Fake. And the whole population has been given an illusion of false prosperity. The Most High said that she is fat. Why? She lived deliciously. While the children of Israel has been exploited all through, they have been living what? Deliciously and fat, enjoying the blessing that was given to them. When you look at look at Europe and compare that to Africa.
Even though Africa is bigger.
Even though Africa is bigger. Amazing. Read it.
Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
That's what's coming here. This is the father's nation when you compare to the fact that it was not even known. It's the new world. It's a far nation that was discovered. But we were here first. It will be desolate. It's not even going to be in the picture. That's what it just showed you right here. So after the economic collapse, the war is going to happen that will tear this place down, and then it's going to be utterly desolate, totally forgotten. You'll be a wilderness and a dry land. Why?
Because of the wrath of Adonijah Ahaya, it shall not be inhabited, because it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
And where are the plagues? We read it already. Death, famine, mourning, and she shall be what?
Utterly destroyed.
Burnt with fire. Amazing. Man, the plagues are coming, and it's also economic. It's an economic plague also. Famine. Come on.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she had sinned against Ahaya. Shout against her round about. She had given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her
what?
Her foundations are fallen.
Her foundation, Babylon the Great, is what?
Are fallen.
The financial empire that built this place will fall. The money, the old money, and the spirits that set it up, they're actually collapsing. That's what we're seeing. And things are going to shift back to how it was in the ancient. Everybody's going to empty it. Everybody's going to leave this place. The game is over. That's what it's heading into. The foundations are falling. Come on.
Her walls are thrown down.
The protection are what?
Are thrown down.
Come on.
For it is the vengeance of Ahaya. Take vengeance upon her, as she had done. Do unto her.
Man. Same thing we read in Revelation 18. Come on.
Cut off the sower from Babylon.
Cut off the what?
The sower.
The what?
The sower.
Those people that are propping up this place are investing. They have their hope, like we read in Revelation. They're going to be totally cut off. They are propping the Babylon system. Cut off the sower in Babylon. Come on.
And him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest.
Come on.
For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land.
So oppression is coming here. Sword, massive debts is coming, brothers and sisters. People are going to be turned against each other, and then that's why they have to pack up and leave, because when they found out that they've been given a lie, they will take to the street. Look at what happened in Ferguson. You're going to see that in every city. They can afford to feed their children. They can afford to sustain their propped up lifestyle, and the ego, the pride of Babylon will be deflated. It will be deflated. And then those that made it out are going to be looking back home. They're going to be going back to Zion. He said that we, nation of Israel, we're going to be looking back to where?
Mount Zion.
Mount Zion. we're going to leave. Hopefully, definitely before then.
Amen.
Chaos. Jeremiah chapter 51, 1 to 10, and we're done after this.
Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus says Ahiah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
What is the wind? The wind of change that is shifting things. Angels in Revelation chapter 7, it shows you them. These winds are going to totally shift the dynamics. It's already blowing, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
The winds of change, the winds of judgment. Angels are winds, in fact. Angels control winds. They control this social and economic, political dynamics. The winds of change, come on.
A destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners.
And we saw the nation that's going to surround her, they're going to fan her, which is essentially like a landmass. Look at North America in the map, and you take that's why we have to go. You're going to leave this whole fiasco, this cage, this golden city will be emptied.
Seas.
It will be empty. I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall what?
That shall fan her, and shall empty her land.
See there? It's going to be emptied. Stock market, no more. Shopping, no more. Life as you know it will transform quickly. Come on.
For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his
Brigadem.
and spare ye not her young man. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans.
The city of the sorcerers that was built on ancient sorcery, science and technology that was used to build this place was from the tree of knowledge of good and evil that Satan used to build the earth. But why are all these things happening? Read it.
And they that are thrust through in her streets.
Why are all these things happening?
For Israel had not been forsaken.
The reason why this place is going to collapse, because the children of Israel that promised rulership must rise. Israel has now been what?
Forsaken.
See there? Come on.
Nor Yehuda of his Alhaim.
The Igbos, the so-called African Americans, they have not been forgotten. They still get to rule this earth. Our power still remembers his promise to our forefathers. That's why the winds are blowing to change the tides. Come on.
Nor Yehuda of his Alhaim of Ahiah of Nsoba, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
What?
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
We have to leave this place before the plagues will come. Keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. Plagues are coming. It starts with economic collapse, war, famine, violence, debt, massive debts. And here comes fire. So keep that in mind. This is not our rest. Zion is our rest. The plagues are coming to smash this place because it was built on sorcery and blood of the people of God. Come on.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not caught up in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Ahayah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
That's why the tides are shifting. That's what's going on. It's happening already. Recompense for this. And Satan will be judged and bound for 1,000 years afterwards. Come on.
Babylon had been a golden cup in Ahayah's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Deceived us, false religion, false knowledge, false existence, false illusion of prosperity. It's a golden cup that made the whole earth drunken with a false doctrine. Come on.
Therefore, the nations are mad. Babylon had been a golden cup in Ahayah's hand that made all earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
Come on.
Babylon is suddenly fallen. And
Is what?
Suddenly fallen.
Is what?
Suddenly.
Sudden.
Fallen.
Sudden fall. That's why those that are not in the truth are going to be shocked. See there? We started teaching today, showing you there's a hidden economy. They're hiding the real situation, the real economy. They're hiding it. They're hiding the real indicators to show you what's really going on until they're ready to pull it. That's why for those people that don't know, it's going to be sudden and totally unexpected. Babylon is suddenly falling. Come on.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
And what?
And destroyed.
And comes their destruction. Go ahead.
Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she be healed. She may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
So there's no medicine to solve this problem. So when Obama is telling you that the economy is recovering, you know he's lying through his teeth. When the CNN is telling you the economy is recovering, the Mosai said that's not true. This place is toast. It will never recover. There will never be utopia here on earth under their system, under Edom. It's going to be under Jacob, the Negro, the black, so-called black man, and so-called Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, American natives. They get to rule this earth in righteousness. That's when peace will restore. That's why it's all happening. Come on.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everywhere, every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up again even to the skies. Ahayah had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Ahayah.
Praise the Most High.
Alahayim.
In Zion is where we're going to declare it. We're going back to Zion to declare the righteousness, how he brought down this system and put us back in rulership. That's why what's going on, not just economically, but the regional events and global events happening is as a result of that. Praise Ahayah.
Amen.
Tobe Chineke, Tobe Ahayah.
Amen.
We're going to stop here. Like I said, I wanted to stop early today. I don't know if I accomplished that. So let's close live stream and pray out.